Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Student Success School. I'm so glad to be here with you. One second, I have to close my door and bring my lighting up a little bit. 1 second, stay right there. And I'm back. Thank you for waiting. So, welcome to the Student Success School. My name is Portia Williams, also known as the Student Success Coach. And what I do here is I help grades K through 5 parents confidently speak up on their child's behalf without being seen as the angry parent so that they can help their child achieve academic success. So growing up, right, I struggled a lot academically. I had so many academic challenges, right? No, I wouldn't say so many, but I had many challenges, right? And the reason I said so many is because I think that it was projected that I had so many. But after being passed along, I'm talking from first grade, second grade, third grade, fourth grade, fifth grade, sixth grade, seventh grade, eighth grade, ninth grade. It wasn't until I got to 10th grade that I finally start to see like what my biggest challenges were, right? And that's something that I want to make sure that I'm bringing to parents, right? The same challenges that I realized that I had when I was like in high school and I began to like learn the remedies to solving them were the same strategic methods that I believe had I been taught when I was in primary school could have set me up for a level of success. And so I don't serve all parents. I really don't. All right. And I'm not looking to, but I am looking to serve one parent, two parents, three parents, four parents a month, right? Who may say, you know what, my child definitely is struggling academically. I'm going to the school, I'm doing everything I can, but my mouth may be slick because I'm frustrated, right? And I don't know all the things. I don't know all the answers, but I want to help my child academically. That's who I'm talking to. Those are the parents that I serve. So I'm so honored to be your coach, right? Because I truly know what it's like to have parents who don't mind going blow for their children. But one of the things that I really, really, really want parents to know who don't mind going blow for blow is that you don't have to, right? You don't have to if you have the strategic plan and if you have the vocabulary, right? The language to really help your child succeed. And so I want to be able to serve you in that way. And that's what I'm gonna do today, right? We are going to be talking about, and if you haven't seen this masterclass title, the masterclass topic for today is that entitled Don't Know How to Help Your Child Fix Their Challenge, right? So, don't know how to help your child's academic challenge, or don't know how, I'm missing a word, to fix your child's academic challenge. I will correct that if it's wrong here on YouTube. But what's the point, right? The main point is that I've noticed that there are families, right, who parents who have a fear, who really, really have a fear that they're they're not able to help their child, right? That they don't have the capability to help their child overcome this challenge. And so it's a big fear for them, right? They have this fear of what if they don't know how to help their child or fix their child's problem, right? And so that's where we're going. This fear of not being able to help your child academically. And I want to dig into that today. And so grab you a pen, grab you a paper, grab you something to write with. If this is where you are, you don't want to miss another second. All right. So I don't know if you've gotten to see, I literally just post a reminder that I was doing this class. And one of the things that I shared is that you don't have to know how to fix your child's problem. So I want to give some ease for any of you, right? You don't have to know how to fix your child's problem. You don't. You don't know have to you don't have to know that. That's not something that you're required to know. You don't have to know how to fix what's going on with your child academically. And so I want to put that to bed for many of you. My next point, right, that I really want you to know is that scheduling like appointments, right, IEP appointments, um, uh, maybe like psych evals, maybe vision, test, just doing stuff, right? Just finding resources, just trying to look for help may not solve the problem that your child is having academically either. And so, point number one, remember, you don't have to fix what's going on with your child, right? You don't have to fix it. It's not necessarily your job to fix it. And I want to be very careful when I say that. But it is your job to take charge to figure out how to get it done. Okay. You can't fix it. It's not something that you can fix, but you can be the one that you should be the one that takes charge to get the results going. Okay. So I want to give you a level of comfort though, or a level of ease, a level of security, a level of understanding, right? A level of peace that you don't have to fix this problem, right? You do have to do something. But I personally don't encourage you to just jump out and just start trying to figure it out, figure it out, figure it out. And I love the take charge mentality. I love that. However, I want you to use this masterclass if you're at this point. I just want you to just sit here, right? Take a moment and sit here so that you can get everything you need. Because jumping out there and just like scheduling like IEP, does my child need IEP? Is something wrong with their vision, right? Right. Is something going on with them cognitively, right? Is something mentally going on with them? Do they have a physical disability that's also preventing their learning, right? Like before you jump out there and do all of that, right? I want you to really be clear of what's even at stake, right? When you have this fear. Okay. Number one, when you have this fear that you are not able to help your child academically, you'll begin to procrastinate, right? You'll really begin to procrastinate, or for some of you, continue to begin to procrastinate on what to do with your child. And so there's like three different levels that I'm address here, right? You have some parents who have this fear and they haven't done anything. They're frozen, right? They froze up and they're not doing anything. So if you continue to have this fear, right, and you continue to let this fear control you, you won't do anything. You'll do nothing. For some of you, though, with this fear, a big issue that can come out of this is that you'll talk to people who aren't qualified to help you, right? You're going off of advice from the wrong people, maybe family, maybe friends, maybe people who can relate to you. Maybe you have a home girlfriend, her child may be having some learning disabilities or have a learning disability or struggling academically, and y'all are confiding in each other. And she's like, hey, girl, try this. Or maybe you're at the gym and you're working out and your homeboy had this deep conversation and you're like, look, yeah, my son is struggling and I'm just trying to figure it out. And they throw out an idea like, won't you, like just go ahead and get him tested, right? And most of the people that you're talking to are not going to mean you any harm. But sometimes that information may not be correct, especially for what your child needs. Okay. And I'm just telling you this from my perspective. Okay. From things that I've experienced as a person who has struggled academically and an educator, right? And so, for those who don't know, this makes my 16th year, right? In and around the area of education, in and around the area of education, 16 plus. And so, some of the things that I have noticed is that sometimes we can get the advice from people who may not have the experience that we have, right? And may not be experiencing what we're having, and they give us their advice, and then we use what they say, and it doesn't help. And so I don't want you to necessarily do that. But what I do want you to do on the flip side is, right? I want you to use resources, but what I don't want you to do is use resources that you don't need just to do something because you know there's a problem. You have this fear, like, what if I'm not able to help my child? And so the next thing is, I need to do something though. I know, I'm a parent, right? I don't just let things happen and I don't need to do anything about it. So I got to do something, right? Maybe I just need to get him a tutor, right? Maybe I do need to get her tested, right? Maybe there's a learning disability here, right? Maybe she needs to sit closer to the front of the class. Like you start to try to find it. And I'm not saying don't take charge, but what I am saying is that when you have a fear, it can push you to just do stuff, right? It's like that fight or flight, right? And for this particular parent, right, maybe it's the fight. I'm gonna just do something, but sometimes that something isn't what's needed to be done as well, right? Just getting a tutor may not be it. Okay, the tutoring may not be it. And it may not even be it right now. That's not to say you won't ever need it, but maybe it's not needed right now. Okay. And so I want to share that because I really want to make sure that you aren't panicking, right? When you fear that or when this challenge comes up that something is going on with your child. But I definitely want to make sure that you're shifting and that you're moving from you having this fear that there's nothing that you could do for your child academically to helping your child achieve academic success. And so if, right, you have this fear that you can't fix what's going on with your child academically, I encourage you to first just get to know, like really understand what your child's learning challenge is, okay? Simply like identify the problem. What do you see? What do you see? And I think that will be the first step to help you get the real support that you need for your child academically, okay? So that's my first encouragement. And the reason I say that is because I'm sure when I think about my parents that they had a fear, right? That they wouldn't be able to help me, right? And the truth is, my parents did not have the bandwidth, the skill to be able, and even the time to be, even the patience to be able to help me with my needs, right? And I think that's why they did things like what I shared, got me tested, see if I had a learning disability, got me an eye exam. Like, is there something wrong with it? Can she not see the board? Is that the problem, right? Got me a tutor, bought me Hooked on Phonics, $1,000 probably almost worth of learning tools that collected dust. They did all these things trying to figure out what was going to fix my problem because I'm sure they had a fear that they couldn't. And I'm so grateful for all the things that my parents had has done for me. However, those things didn't solve the problem. It didn't. It did not solve the problem. I still went 1st grade, 2nd grade, 3rd grade, 4th grade, 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, 9th grade. Oh, I didn't have success until 10th grade. That's years of not thriving when I could have been, right? And so, what am I saying to you? If you have this fear that you can't help your child, like it's just like it's nothing I could do. I understand, right? I totally understand. But if you have that fear, I want you to know what can continue to happen when you have this fear. Number one, you'll probably procrastinate and not get help, right? You'll probably just freeze and don't do anything. You'll continue to just procrastinate and procrastinate, and your child will continue to have the problem. And as I was studying, one of the notes that came up, right, even doing research, is that a child will continue to lack that confidence when nothing is done. They'll continue to struggle. And that's something that I've seen, within myself. And then the next point, right, is you'll probably get advice from people. You'll talk to your homegirl, you'll talk to family, you'll talk to friends, and that might not be what works or needs to work for you. And then lastly, you'll probably get resources that you might not necessarily need or be using resources that you may not necessarily need. And we see it often really like in social services or just any public service like environment. Often people use a resource, right? And they need it, right? And then the time runs out, or you get the resources too early when you're not equipped for it, right? And so maybe you're getting resources or will use a resource if you continue to have this fear just to like I just got to solve this problem, right? Because I'm not, I don't sit around and just let stuff happen to my child. You'll just fight and get a resource. And that resource may not be what's needed. And I don't want that to happen. So that's why I'm encouraging you to understand, like take a moment and ask yourself, like, what have I seen? Identify what your child's learning challenge is. Understand that so that you can begin to get the real support that you need. Okay. I want you to identify that. Like, what do you see? You have this fear that you can't help your child. Well, what is it that you see? What is it that you see? Right. And so drop it in the comments. Like, let me know. What is it that you see? What is it that you've seen? Right. And I will be sure to respond back to you and help you. And if you just wanna get on the phone, right, and you wanna talk about it personally, right, and if you want help and you don't know what's going on with your child, I can help you understand, right, what's going on with your child, right, academically. We can uncover what the real challenge is. And I do that normally in a breakthrough session, right? I really take time to get to know like what the challenge is so that I can help you get the real support that you need. Like that's my job and that's what I want to do for you. Okay. That way your child can have a level of success and just thrive. Okay. And so I love you all so much. If you want to sign up for a breakthrough session with me, right? Comment here, right? Or email me. You can email me directly at the student success school at gmail.com. I will be glad to let you know when the next availability is, and I can see you then. All right. I love you so much, and I pray that I always show it. And until we meet again, have an amazing week.